What's the walk in the pipe story?
There was a pot between, across this canal that we used to like walk over.
Probably natural gas or something like that.
I don't know. But anyway, we would walk this pipe over this river. And that was kind of one of the challenges. Walk the pipe to the other side, see if you can. And it's something we did at night, before it got completely dark. And it was scary to walk the pipe.
Is that where y'all made out?
No. We made out everywhere. Wherever we were.
It's Kaplan.
In the back of the hay trucks. The trucks with hay on them. I don't know. What else?
Where would you go?
Oh, the day we went to jail.
Oh, that's a good one.
Those of us on the school board, we'd been elected to, like,
Student council?
Student councils, student officers, whatever. We went to the jail, to visit the jail.
It was a field trip?
It's part of what you do. You go to Abbeville to see the jail. And we got there, and they were showing us the jail. Well, inside the jail was some of the students that had been kicked out of Kaplan High School. And I remember one of them. So he was all excited that we were all coming through, because he knew us. Of course, he knew us from some of the previous grades before he got kicked out.
What did people get in trouble for in Kaplan? Like, why were people kicked out of school?
Not going to school, if they were tardy and or delinquent, whatever, they went somewhere else other than school.
Yeah.
Was that John Sweezy in jail? No, that was something else.
No. John Sweezy.
Was that Ernest? Was his name Ernest?
No, there was a John Sweezy in my class for a while. But he was real nasty. He taught me what this meant.
Shooting the bird.
But the way he did it was so nasty. He had a doll, a naked doll, that he had made out of wood, and he cut a big hole in her bottom. And he put it in on my finger, and he said, "Look." And so he said, but he had put red paint on it. It got all over my finger.
How old were you when this pervert did that?
He was a pervert. That's a good name for him. 8.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I wasn't a little girl yet then, because I didn't know what all that meant.
Yeah.
So BJ kicked Sweezy out of school?
I think eventually.
Do you remember his 15 minutes of fame later on? He got on national TV. Do you remember why?
Oh, because of the hurricane.
Okay, what happened?
He talked some Cajun you wouldn't believe. He was interviewed on national TV.
What, do you remember why?
I remember he said something about it was so loud.
It was a tornado that hit Kaplan?
A tornado hit Kaplan. And
the film crew goes out and they see only one guy in the street, and it's John Sweezy.
Yeah.
So what did they do?
They interviewed him. He saw the hurricane coming, and he described that on national TV.
Do you remember? You used to tell the story of what he said. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember.
But here's a guy from Kaplan, and the worst low-class Cajun accent. I jumped in that ditch and big wind, it's that kind of stuff.
And I hit my head in the ditch.
So John Sweezy made it to national TV.
And they played him longer than anybody.
And he mortified everybody in Kaplan. Said, "Oh God, he represented." I remember you should see Vicky go on about this. Vicky's funny in that story.
Yeah, it's funny.
What'd y'all do in Cow Island? Did y'all ever go to Cow Island? Who lived in Cow Island?
Some of my classmates, actually.
Is that one of those you had to get there by boat?
No,
You could drive.
you could drive. It was a little town over to the west of Kaplan. But it was basically a farm community.
No stories. What about the Jews of Kaplan?
Yes. The Tartaks and the Kaplans, that's their names. And they came in on Steve, you probably remember better than I do. You know
Well,
this.
they were the two Jewish families, and did they like each other?
No.
Okay. And then, what about the your bedroom furniture? What was that story?
Mama bought that from Mrs. Tortak, I think had died. And she went to talk to Mr. Tortak. She said, I've always loved that bedroom set. And they sold the bedroom set to my mother. It was gorgeous.
Turned out later that when she inherited it, but it was just too massive, and we didn't. So we took it to an auction at the Neal Auction House in New Orleans, and or New Orleans auctions, one of those ones in St. Charles, I forget. And so after they took it apart and looked at it, and it was made in New Orleans. It was a New Orleans piece.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It was made out of rosewood.
by one of the famous furniture manufacturers. And I think didn't you get like $11,000 for that set?
Enough to build a house in Costa Rica.
Well, I mean,
Sort of.
not exclusively, but anyway, so it was a good sale.
That's good. So what else can you tell me about growing up? Tell me more about the bar y'all would always go to in high school.
The name of it was the Pelican. And of course we knew the sheriff. And the sheriff's kid was in school with us. So we knew that if he was coming, his son would be contacted. And he would tell us. So we had time to leave before the sheriff got there.
When did you start going to it?
When I was in 6th grade.
Was it close to the school?
No, it was on the highway out of town.
Oh.
Did y'all walk everywhere in those days or ride bikes?
We rode bikes and we walked a lot.
What else did you do in the bar when you went to the bathroom?
Oh, you want me to tell that story?
Yeah.
That was in we went bowling a lot in Lafayette, and that was when we went bowling one time. I went to the bathroom, and they had a machine that you could put a quarter in and you'd get a balloon out. So I blew up my balloon, and I came out of the bathroom, played with my balloon, hit my balloon into the air. Everybody was laughing. And I didn't know why. I thought it was great that for a quarter you could get a balloon.
Would you go into Lafayette other times?
Yeah, that's where we went shopping. I would go in with Mama to buy things at Worms's.
Okay, so let's say you just walked into the store at Worms's with your mother. And tell what kind of experience that was and what your mother said.
My mother would say, "I'm Joel Flush's sister." And of course, Uncle Joel was the president of USL. So that kind of established her when she walked in, that she was Joel Fletcher's sister.
And they treat her well.
Can you imagine announcing that to the shop girl?
Yeah, they would treat her well.
What about your clothes in Kaplan? Did you buy them off the rack, or did?
No, Miss Lemaire made everything. Uh, they had, in that time, they had, you could buy patterns that had a picture of what you wanted, and then inside they had a pattern. But she was so good, she didn't have to use all the inside, but she kind of made everything from the outside, from the dresses, from the picture.
When you went to Europe the first, and where we met, were you wearing any of Miss Lemaire's clothes?
All of Miss Lemaire's clothes. That white jacket I had, that was from Miss Lemaire.
She had a white wool jacket that she wore in Rome.
Homemade?
In Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Made by Miss Lemaire.
That's what I wore.
There's a picture somewhere in one of our albums of Kathleen walking down the slopes of Switzerland, but not in like a
jacket.
Sierra Designs or something like that, but in a white wool jacket.
It was pretty. And when I went into the Swiss jewelry shop, and I asked them if they had any square cut emeralds, and they said, "Yes, you want to come in here?" And they pulled out this big double layer of square cut emeralds.
Yeah, she wore her white wool jacket, and when she went to pretend that she wanted to, that she might be interested in buying a square cut emerald, she looked so elegant. They said, "Well, come into the vault," and they took her into the
They
vault.
took me inside.
Oh, is that a Lemaire you're wearing?
She didn't look like a scruffy tourist.
Yeah, I looked nice that day.
So how many of your classmates went to college?
A few of us
Did mostly go to USL?
went to USL. There were 3 doctors. They graduated in med school out of my class, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And one became a writer. She's published. Forgot her name.
Remember her name? Can't think. But who was the doctor?
There was Emile Latour,
Steve.
Steve Apsher, and
What was the Steve Apsher story in school? Remember that one?
yeah. He was always playing pranks. And he was I think we were in 3rd grade. Maybe we were in 5th grade. He climbed up, what do you call that?
Drain pipe?
The drain pipe. But he climbed all the way up it.
On the outside of the school?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And he jumped down. I don't really remember what happened.
Did BJ catch him?
No.
He got away with stuff.
All the time?
What other pranks did people play in high school?
We're in elementary school too. In 5th grade, our teacher was Miss Hanks, and she started a museum on the 3rd floor. And she had these little cigar boxes that she had stuff in, but it was mostly the good kids that got to go to work in the or the real smart kids are the ones who did all their work to put the stuff in the museum boxes. Well, one time, I have a feeling it was the boys that didn't get to go put stuff in museum boxes. Some boys went and poo-pooed in the boxes. That's a lot of poo-poo pranks.
He's what's at hand.
When you were little, I remember you told me stories of like learning math in first grade or whatever, and you had a store.
We had a grocery store.
Tell us about that.
But we got to buy things in the store.
At the school you did?
Yeah, in our classroom. The classroom had a store in it. You know, it was a homemade store, but we got to buy different things, and that's how we learned to count money. Like if something was a nickel, we knew we could get 4 cents back, 4 pennies back if it cost a penny.
Speaking of the money, value of money at the time, what was your allowance? Remember that?
I didn't have an allowance.
Oh, but you got money because I remember you told me you went and bought things after school. Maybe you go to the store and
I went to Mr. Bishow's store.
what'd you buy?
I bought a nickel, had a nickel,
Had a nickel, and what'd you buy?
gum, candy.
What about the little thing that came in a Frito bag? Who sold that?
Oh, chili mix.
Chili Max. Was that your favorite?
Yeah, but that wasn't at Mr. Bishow's store. That was in the Frizo. That was another. It was like the
Drive-through.
drive-through where you got Cokes and
How much did that cost? Remember?
25 cents
Okay.
for a bag of Fritos cut where they cut the bag of Fritos and they put chili in it. So I got to eat chili mixes. I'd usually, if I was lucky, if I had 10 cents, I would also get a Coke. Get a Coke and a uh, chili mix. That was our treat.
And when did you remember, you told me you got into trouble with your dad one time. What happened?
Oh, he saw me eating some chips and I was drinking a Coke. And he said, "How did you get that money to buy chips and a Coke?" And I said, "I saved it. Yesterday I didn't have chips so that I could eat a Coke and chips today." Which is what I had done. I wasn't lying. I ate a bag of chips and a Coke. I love that together. The salt and the sweet together.